Hello and welcome. Hopefully we're live and everything's going okay. How is everyone doing? Welcome to another Monday evening Amazon FBA Q&A. Thanks for joining me, guys. In this stream, I will be answering any questions you have about Amazon FBA or I guess business or whatever in general. And we've got Prime Day coming up in 4 hours. So if you've got any questions about Prime Day, let me know about that as well. So we'll just wait for a few more people to jump in. Hopefully we get some more people coming in. Just adjust my microphone slightly. Hopefully it's not too noisy for you guys. So yeah, hey, Reseller Kid, how's it going? What does mogul even mean? Sounds like a drug mule. Drug mogul, maybe. Yeah, mogul's it's like a titan of industry, a business mogul. It means, I don't know actually. Google it. What's it? It's just a name my friends gave me, so I stuck with it. So I guess it's my brand now. FBA mogul. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. If you've got any questions about Amazon FBA, feel free to dive in. But yeah, in 4 hours we have another Prime Day coming up. So I don't know how many of these Prime or days, I should say, are going to be happening every year, but another big sale going on. Hopefully we'll be buying lots of products around midnight when all the items drop. Although I feel like now actually they drop a little bit more evenly throughout the day actually rather than just at midnight. But I'll be up at midnight waiting for the deals to drop. I'll be in the live chat in my Discord community, FBA Moguls, link for that in the description. And yeah, we'll be watching and chatting while all the deals come in, hopefully just pointing out some of the deals that come in and making sure we're all buying the best deals. So what am I getting a message here then? Cool, yeah, so any questions, do let me know, basically. Just checking the old... Oh, nice. So, yeah, Quigita has obviously been a big one that I've been talking about. So, yeah, M1... I need to make this bigger, 1 second, sorry, so I can actually read it. Can I zoom in on this? There we go. Excuse me. So, M1 Sohaib... what's the best supplier? I mean, that is a dangerous question, a secretive, not secretive. That's a very secretive thing, basically, that is people's suppliers. So, hey, Snappy, how's it going? Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, that's one thing you don't ask people is where do they buy items from? I mean, that's pretty much one of the... I mean, I teach 99.9999% of everything. But yeah, I won't tell you where to buy things. So, but there are lots of different websites out there. So if you would like to know a good bunch of websites to go, you can check out Arbisource. There should be a link for that in the description. It has hundreds of sites that they scan for deals. So that could be one good way to find deals. Yeah, but there's no particular site that I can give you that's going to help you, because as soon as I mention it, then obviously it's going to get saturated. So... Hey Brad, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. But yeah, so someone was actually saying here that they've just beat an authenticity complaint on Amazon with a Cogita invoice. That's great to hear. So fantastic. Yeah, good to hear that, basically. That was always that slight concern with Cogita is, if someone got an authenticity complaint, how could we fight it? And obviously, until someone got one, we would not know the actual answer for that. But I'm still pushing them to actually give us the proper invoice from the seller. So that's good to know anyway. So, hey Chris, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So yeah, so obviously I've been sourcing Cogita a lot. So anyone who's not bought from there are so many deals on there, it's kind of crazy. And you can get the £120 discount on your first order with the code FBA Mogul. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, let me know. So we've got Prime Day coming up. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's the second Prime Day of the year. I can't remember. I feel like we've definitely had one already. But yeah, so Laser Glick has asked, what's the best PPC software out there? Actually, I am not sure because I don't use PPC. So private label and sort of PPC and things like that is definitely an element that I have no knowledge of, really. I deal with mainly online arbitrage, but if you want to learn how to do private label and learn more about PPC and things like that, and things like that, is check out Nikos Marco. He's on YouTube. He's the private label expert. But yes, repricing software. As you can see, we are sponsored by. If I point, I can't point. at the bottom left, you can see this stream is sponsored by Protector Pro, which is my favorite repricer, by the way. It's the repricer I've been using now for, I guess, all of this year, I think. I have to look when I actually started, but it is the best repricer. So yeah, Protector Pro, best repricer. Link in description for that as well. You can get a 14-day free trial. It uses AI. You know, I always talk about PvP because it's so freaking good. You guys are very sick of me talking about it. But yeah, it really is. Check out link in description for that if you want to check them out. So Brad, hey Tom, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So Brad just thought he'd come and chill while it's on seller support. Oh, fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people come on here, just want to listen to me talk. I guess some background noise going on while they're doing something mundane, like hanging on for seller support, things like that. So Reseller Kid, yeah, so we just covered that one, didn't we? So, yeah, Protector Pro sponsor. Just thought I'd throw it up there because they've been really good to the channel, to be fair. Protector Pro. Really good to me, really good to the channel, but actually they're really good software as well. So you guys know I will not promote software that I don't, or services that I don't like. There's a certain accounting software out there that I will not even mention their name, but they start with O and ends in E, and they're freaking terrible. And despite the fact they offered me free accounting for life, well, for the free accounting, and also I think it was like £500 per sign up or £400 per sign up, I told them to shove it, because they are not good. So yeah, best accounting software I use now, well, not software, but accountant, is RT Accounting. But yeah. So Tom, with Prime Day, he's asking, are you going to buy 50 units to ungate or find ungate elsewhere? So Tom, oftentimes you don't have a choice. There's normally a limit on how much you can order. So obviously, if there's a really good product out there that looks really profitable, I will be buying as many as possible. And if that can be 50, then fantastic. So I don't know what Reseller Kid's saying there. I'm not going to confirm or deny it. Sorry, guys. I'm just messaging Spence, the owner of Profit Suite, by the way. So if you're looking for a group for Amazon to Amazon deals tonight, join Profit Sweep. Again, link in description for that, I believe. They've got a 3-day free trial, so just join it if you want, just for the A2A deals, and then leave if you want. It's up to you, but hopefully you'll obviously stay because you think it's good. So right, anyway, stop talking to Spence because not making good streaming. Apologies for that. So, yeah, where was I saying? Yeah, Profit Sweep is a great group to join for Amazon deals. They have the fastest pings out there. Like I say, just join it for 3 days and leave if you really want. But honestly, you're going to be printing so much money there, you'll definitely want to stay. So, yeah, Tom, hope that answers your question. Obviously, I'm going to buy as many as I can. I mean, I've got decent bank balance, big credit card. So if the deals are there and I can buy 50 or 100 or 200, I will be buying them. But I don't rely on Amazon for ungating anymore because it's very unlikely you're going to get 50 units. It's very unlikely these days. So you normally have to ungate elsewhere. So that's the truth of it, unfortunately. Amazon to Amazon ungates are kind of a thing of the past unless you can get those 50 quantity, which is, I say, doesn't happen that often. So Dilly, just seeing Cogito posted in Discord, it's about to get ruined. Should have kept this gold mine quiet. Yes, I mean, I can't keep these things quiet. I'm trying to help people. So I've had fantastic success on Cogito. I've got one item. I'm waiting for it to come and restock. I've just sold one now. Actually, it's 70% ROI, £7 profit, and I've got 235 in stock. It's nice. So it's a sick one. That's my best one, to be fair, but I've got other ones that are really nice as well. But that one, it's a 400 SPM as well, I think, if I remember correctly. So I've got like less than a month's worth of stock. 400 SPM, but there's other sellers on there. So probably about a month's worth of stock there. So it's a nice one. I'm just waiting for I bought on a price dip, by the way, that one. So I used Cogito Price Drop Monitor to do that, to find that deal, and I cleaned it out. So it was really good. So Chris Skillett says, top tip, don't use Cogito credit then ask for invoice. Always buy then ask to pay for credit after. Yeah, so one of the bits of advice that we give is right now when you buy from Cogito, you're not guaranteed to get an invoice from the seller. So what you should do, and the way Cogito works, is you make the order and then you can pay. I think you've got 48 hours to pay. So what you do is you make that order first and don't pay via credit. Just say you're going to pay by card or whatever, you've then got that 48 hours to ask your account manager or support, do your account manager, if the seller will provide an invoice. If they won't provide an invoice, then just don't buy it, basically. It's probably not worth the risk. And also, what I want to try and do is punish those sellers that aren't willing to provide invoices. So, so that's basically the way, because we want to get that invoice, ideally. Quigita invoice is probably good enough a lot of times, but just to be extra safe, it's nice to have that almost full supply chain, Quigita invoice plus the seller invoice as well. So that's the one thing. So that's a good tip there, absolutely. So trying to think of any good tips. I mean, I've got loads of good tips for Quigita. We can talk about that in a minute maybe. But you guys know I'm a huge fan of it, and you can get the £120 discount with the code FBA Mogul as well. So Ravi's asking, maximum box size. I know Amazon are okay with 64... Yeah, official max is 63.5, unless you're selling an oversized item, in which case you can bundle those together and they can be oversized. But you can only send in just those items together. So let's say there was a good one about a year or so back, which was basically some lightsabers that were, 80 centimeters long. You could send all those in together. That's the only time you can use a box size over 63.5 centimeters on either side. Is when it's an oversized item. But you can only send those items in, so you can't add in whatever else, perfumes in with the lightsaber. It's just lightsabers only. So reseller kid, he may have got that one with the awesome. I'm not going to confirm that actually. You guys know who it is. So So what hobbies do you have outside of Amazon? I'm a loser basically, and just live and breathe Amazon in my business right now. In the past, I used to love playing tennis. It's been a while since I've done that, as you can probably tell. Need to get back into that. But what do I do? I just hang out. I watch TV, I suppose, like hang out with friends, going out for meals, things like that. So I don't know. I don't really have any hobbies outside of... I like building Lego, to be fair. A lot of indoor activities, actually. So probably should get outdoors a bit more. But I used to enjoy like mountain biking, tennis, things like that. But... when I lived in the countryside, ever since I moved to Nottingham, the city, I've not done so much of that as well, and piled on the pounds. So not good. Need to change that up. It's a good point actually there. So, I just basically work on my business right now. That is, ever since I quit my job, that my business is my focus. It's the thing I really enjoy. That is my hobby. It's my hobby. It's my work. I freaking love doing this. Having your own business is amazing. As you guys know, if you've got your own business, there's nothing better, in my opinion, as long as you're doing something you're enjoying. Yeah, so for me, you can't beat it. I'm sure Spencer will chime in as well. He probably, loves having his own business as well. Anyone who else does it, it's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. I'm a hermit, basically. So that's not actually too far off, to be honest. So, no, definitely need to change that, actually. So, yeah. So Diddy, he's asking Scan Unlimited versus Arbisource. So I've not used Scan Unlimited, so I can't really tell you. I actually don't know about Scan Unlimited. Does it do site scans? I don't know. Arbisource will obviously do site scans. It'll do wholesale scans. The great thing about Arbisource, I guess, is that the owner is in the FBA Moguls Discord community. So if you've got any questions, whether you want to ask him about how it works or subscription problems or anything like that, he's there. He answers within seconds, minutes sometimes. Depends what time of night it is or day. So that's really nice. But I'm not used to Unlimited, so I don't know. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just don't know. So, not sure on that one. So Matrix is asking, if I want to start Amazon, do I need capital first or can I start for free? No, you do need capital. And I was actually talking to a guy yesterday. He was, he's starting Amazon with £100. I was like, that's going to be it's basically impossible, let's be honest, actually. So without having to put more money in, it's basically going to be impossible. Because, it costs you £30 a month just to sell on Amazon, or £25 plus that, to get a professional seller account. I think you can do maybe the free one, a bit of software there as well. That's going to be it's going to be impossible. You really need a minimum, I'd say £1,000. You can potentially use a little bit less and supplement it a bit more with, a credit card or something like that. I'm not advising you do that necessarily, but that could be something you could do. But £1,000 really is the minimum. And then what I'd recommend actually when you're starting out with such a small amount is doing retail arbitrage, just because you can get those higher profit items, higher items, and then you can also send them in a little bit quicker as well versus doing OA. So that's the one thing I recommend for there. But yeah, you do need a bit of money, unfortunately. So yeah, but you can start off with 500 or whatever, and then put more money in subsequently. Not like you have to start off with £1,000 or whatever. It's quite common people start off with maybe 500 or £1,000. Once they realise the opportunity is real and they see some profits coming in, see some sales, they go, hang on, this is like good, this is real. Then they put more money in. That's very common. So yeah, hope that answers your question. So yeah, Brad, Amazon has become a session. So it's the only way to succeed, in my opinion, is to just dive into something massive. I mean, it's just kind of my personality. When I get obsessed with something, I go all in on it and go crazy. But then the difficulty for me is then maintaining their interest after a certain amount of time, which is why I guess with Amazon FBA, I've then done the social media side and the Discord community side and education side. Because if I was just doing FBA, I think I'd get bored. So this way it keeps they're both same thing basically, both obviously FBA related, but this way I can keep my interest, keep myself interested basically. But yeah, my personality is definitely like I go all in on things, get super obsessed, become pretty good at it basically, and then get bored once there's no challenge, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. So Ravi's asking, I thought one oversized item per box. No, I'm 99% sure you can do multiple. I think Spence is watching, so he could potentially he could potentially confirm or deny this. I don't think he can chat in here, but he'll DM me. But I'm 99% sure you can send multiple oversized items in one box or a pallet. Yeah, as long as it's the same item. So could you do? Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one actually. I don't do too many oversized items. Chris has asked, when did I start Amazon? So my very first sale was 6th of July 2022. So obviously started at Amazon maybe a few days before that, a couple of weeks before that. So yeah, but that was when my first sale was. So I've been doing this now for just a little over 2 years. And but yeah, so pretty good to be fair. It's been good to me, to be honest. Yeah, it's a fantastic business, to be honest. I've done a whole video around why I think Amazon's the best business to start. So you can check that out in my YouTube channel. Yeah, so Brad says OARA, FBM, turnover, low capital quickly. I mean, I did a whole video on this, how to start with £1,000. I basically did say do FBM and do RA. I don't recommend FBM anymore. I've just heard too many bad stories recently about doing FBM that Amazon just won't back you up. So even if you've got like proof of delivery, they're just going to side with the buyer and give them a refund. People are saying the package has been opened or didn't arrive. Even if you've got proof of delivery, Amazon just siding with the seller, with the buyer, and they're just giving them a refund. So I can no longer recommend doing FBM for any kind of decently valuable item until that changes. It's like the old days of eBay where they used to always side with the buyer and screw the seller. That's essentially what's happening now with Amazon. You could basically have a video of the king delivering it and Amazon would still side with the buyer. So it's not great, really. Maybe I'm just seeing the bad stories here, but every time I see someone saying, oh, someone said that it wasn't in the box or it didn't get delivered. I've had it myself last Christmas. They said it didn't arrive. I provided tracking link. They just got refunded anyway. So yeah, it's just not good, really. So don't recommend FBM anymore for any of the high value items. Only you can determine how much you'd want to risk losing. For me, my limit would probably around £30 to £50 before I would something around that kind of price, really. So FBA Golden Boy, last month was the first month when Amazon profit matched my work wage. Well done, congratulations, that's amazing. So this is why I love doing this education and teaching people, because I love seeing these the growth of people and people growing their businesses to those kind of levels. So want to be making 3x the work wage before thinking about leaving. I think it makes sense because, as you maybe saw from my last video or the video before, I made 10,200 profit, I think it was. Might be a bit less now, for September. That was my STK figures, but once I factored in all my quite considerable expenses, I think, if I remember correctly, it was down to 6,600. So that was my profit. That's my net profit, basically, after my expenses. Gross profit was like 10,000, 10,200. It whittles down pretty quickly. Now, with that one, the caveat is I did spend a lot of money on prep for Q4, so I sent a lot of Q4 items in, more than I normally would in a month. But I've got more expenses now. I've got 3 VAs, prep costs and things like that. So those figures can whittle down pretty quickly. Throw in a few refunds as well, and then just being honest here, how it works. So those SDK figures, they might look really good. But obviously, when you factor in at the end of the month everything and figure out your net profit, it can whittle down pretty quickly. So you need to be making sure that you're earning a good amount and you're comfortable before you leave. And you also need to factor in as well that not only do you need to pay yourself so you can pay your bills, you want to be growing your Amazon business as well. So you want to be leaving money in there so you can grow for the future. So it's not good just to stay stagnant. So yeah, congratulations on that one, FBA Golden Boy. Really impressed with that. So, and you'll keep on growing. Just keep learning, keep growing. You can see the potential of this business. It's kind of crazy, really. So yeah, Matrix, no problem. Hope that helped. So Simon says you can do multiple oversized even it's different items. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done it. I've not done many oversized items before, but that makes sense to me. That actually does ring a bell because I think I have done 1 or 2 where it was the same, but I've not done too much. Basically, living in a top floor apartment, I avoided oversized items when I was doing prep myself. So mostly, normally when the things are oversized, they're quite heavy. So I'd avoid those kind of items and send them to the prep center, let them deal with it. So Reseller Kid says, I think ice cream van is the best business, Mr. Whippy Van. Yes, until the ice cream mafia come after you and burn your house down. So I've got a whole nother story around that, by the way. So I know someone who actually tried to do this and they basically threatened to burn his house down with his family in. So not nice, basically. So, but yeah. Anyway, he ended up doing very well for himself in another area. But if you want to get into that Reseller Kid, do it. Ice cream van, yeah. Fantastic. Golden Boy is really good. Hey Mike, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Do appreciate it. So shout out to Simon for sharing the knowledge. Yeah, no problem. Absolutely happy to help you guys. There's plenty of room for everyone. Sometimes people say, why are you not hoarding this information? If you were, not that I'm selling anything anyway, but apart from affiliate links, this whole thing of like, if you're so successful on this thing, why are you sharing it with others? Well, it's because Amazon's enormous, and it literally makes no difference to me whether you guys make 10,000 or 20,000 a month. It's not going to hurt my bottom line, really. Not going to make any difference to my life. So yeah, there's plenty of room for everyone on Amazon. Especially if you move into different areas, different categories, and get good at a certain category. I actually had a call with a guy a few days ago, and we helped him sort of identify a category. Now he's doing a lot of research, and things maybe I think are clicking. He's seeing there's some good opportunities there in the category that he decided to go into. So if you PayPal me $10, I'll tell you what his category. I'm joking, but yeah. So it's good stuff, really. But yeah, Q4 is coming up, so obviously that's going to be big for us. It's been a little bit slow past sort of 2 or 3 weeks. I think people are saving money for Christmas. I know we're in Q4 now technically, but I think it's still a little bit slow right now. My sales aren't great, to be honest. I'm looking on £150 profit for the day. Or for the month, I'm on, it loads up, 1,931 so far. So I'm not sure what that extrapolates out to the month. I think it's less than 10,000 actually. So I might need to tweak a few PPP prices just to maybe encourage a few more sales. But I've got a lot of stock in for Q4, a lot of perfumes in. It's kind of crazy actually. So how much stock I've got in? I've got £120,000 of stock in Amazon right now, and probably another 5 or 10 or 15 on the way. So yeah, it's good. Cool. Kinkado, are there ways to lower chance of getting Section 3 when doing OA? Yeah, just make sure you're on top of your invoices. Make sure you're ordering from legitimate suppliers and make sure you've got invoices. That is the way to do it. Simple as that. As long as you've got that, you're fine. I don't know why people got Section 3s on for that listing. I've never had one myself. I don't know why that happened. So my knowledge on this is a little bit... It's low, I guess, because I just don't have any experience on this. Everything I talk about is generally from experience. So on this one, I don't know why that happened. Maybe you guys can enlighten me more, because I've been hit with authenticity claims all the time. I've been hit with probably 20 in my entire account history, and every time I fought it fine. But I never got obviously my account health got dinged, but I was never threatened with account deactivation or like got section 3 or whatever it was, I just basically got given, I think, 7 days to. I mean, now when I get one, I get 7 days to get given. Start again. I get 7 days to provide invoices before it even hurts my account health, and then after that, I then get 28 days before they destroy the stock. So, and then I get a little ding on the account health. So I don't know really and my account health's not even that great either. It's like 252 or something, which is really low compared to a lot of people. Because I don't do a lot of volume, so I think volume. I didn't realize this until someone told me that volume factors into your account health. So yeah, let me know why they happen, section 3s. I don't know really. So FBA Gone Boy, mind showing how much I initially started with, because your growth and figures in a couple of years motivating. So I need to double check exactly, because I get asked this all the time, but I'm 90% sure, 99% sure it's £30,000 I started with. It might have been more, but I'm 90% sure it's £30,000. But what I need to do is go through my, look at my bank account and just see how much I put in. But yeah, it was a minimum of £30,000 basically. It may have been a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure it's 30,000. So yeah, I'll double check that, because I do get asked a lot. I was thinking the other day, I need to actually just double check this and make sure so I've got my numbers correct. Yeah, obviously I started with a lot. I started off, I was very lucky. I had Spence, I had Jacob, who both guys I knew from the sort of PlayStation 5, Xbox days, reselling days. They got into Amazon and they really helped me. I asked them loads of questions. They helped me a lot, and that was really good. There's obviously, I joined the right groups when I first started, and that really helped me as well. And that's what I'm trying to replicate now, as being the person like they were, who I can answer questions for you basically. So, because it is helpful. It's a very simple business, Amazon, but it's also a complicated business. So I had good help. I had a good amount of capital to start with. I realized the opportunity pretty quickly as well. I wasn't like just testing the waters. I was pretty much all in. I think when I started as well, it was near a Prime Day as well. So I think within the first month, I ordered like 20, 30 grand worth of stock. Obviously used Amex as well. So let's say I start with £30,000 capital. I obviously utilized Amex as well, pretty much from day one, to obviously supplement that as well. Mainly just for the points, really. It wasn't actually to necessarily give me more capital, but it's just because obviously I'm spending a lot of money, build up those points. I actually used the points the very technically the first time, but I booked a first class flight to Dubai using my points. So with British Airways, so it's not quite as good as Emirates, things like that, but that was 148,000 points and £709 for a return flight in first class to Dubai. So that's the nice thing about using Amex and things like that, is to get those points. Cool. So what's the next questions we've got then? Michael, I hear about sending small boxes in for Q4 can delay. Is it best to send bigger items in bulk, like oversized? Is it true they prioritize bigger than small? I actually don't know what they sort of would prioritize, to be honest. Obviously, if there's less oversized items, I guess they would maybe check those in faster. I like to think Amazon know how to shuffle staff around though. So if there's more like standard boxes going in, they put more staff on that to intake those. But I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. I don't have much experience in terms of sending anything beyond the sort of standard size boxes. So I've never was saying that I've had a pallet sent in, but my prep center dealt with that. Seemed to check in fine, but it wasn't Q4, so so I don't know about that one, to be honest. I'll be honest. So, but last year Q4, I was a little bit worried the check-in times would be quite slow, but they hired a lot of staff and it seemed to be pretty good. So it was actually not too bad, to be honest. So Ravi's saying counterfeit goods from random wholesalers equals Section 3. But how do they know, though? So why do they hit you with Section 3 right off the bat? That's what I don't know. Because Section 3, if I'm aware, is basically shutting your account down immediately because they suspect something's counterfeit. But I've been hit with counterfeit claims from customers, not had an account closure. Yeah, I'll get given plenty of time to resolve it. So I don't know why it happened with that one. And then what with me, it's fine. So, well, not fine, but obviously I need to prove it and provide invoices and stuff. But I get enough time, my account's not closed. I don't know, really. So yeah, reseller, what happened in section 3? Basically, my understanding is, my sort of naive understanding of it is, there was a Nivea listing that was under the brand of Nivea. Someone somehow managed to hijack it and put it under their own sort of private label brand. And then basically, I think I was able to hit everyone with a authenticity claim. I believe that's what happened. And then loads of people got hit on that through that Nivea. There was also another one as well. It was a different brand. I can't remember. But most people were on the Nivea listing. And that's what caused the problem. I'm not saying Nivea is a bad brand, by the way. It just happened. It's just bad luck, I think, really. That somehow they managed to basically hijack and change the brand of that listing. Very strange. Yeah, I think I may have barely scraped section 3 with a Star of Honor price. I think I'll skip the retail for a while. Yeah, I mean, again, Star of Honor is fine, I think. Like, they seem to be pretty legitimate. It's just obviously it's not going to be helped when you get a parallel import claim, because obviously you are parallel importing it. But I'm pretty sure Star of Honor is all legit. So, but I don't order from them myself because I can't get the VAT back. But I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not saying they are legit. I think they are though. Hey Leo, thanks for popping in to say hi. I do appreciate it. Wow, we're at 23 concurrent viewers. That's awesome. So thank you all for joining me today. We're halfway through. So yeah, thank you all for joining. Hopefully we're keeping you entertained while you're. I don't know if you're sat here listening or prepping or cooking or just hanging out. It's all good. So Ravi says, if wholesale prices are too low, it's too good to be true, especially in the beauty category. Sure, I guess it can. I don't know what sites you're looking at. On Cogita, for example, there are occasional good price drops. If you're using a sort of site like, not a Discord group like Cogita Price Drop Monitors, just like in anything, basically prices fluctuate and sometimes an offer comes along. But yeah, I think sometimes you need to know where you're buying from, basically. So, and just maybe using a bit of common sense. So I get what you're saying to a little extent, yeah. If you find a random wholesaler on the internet, just make sure you use Trustpilot to see if they're legit and things like that. But yeah, and I don't know, it can be tricky, basically. So Rayan, sorry, I can't. Rayan. Hi Simon, can you explain the steps to make Amazon's account for A2A? I mean, it's been ages since I've done it, so just create the accounts. I think you need phone numbers, but I think you can just add the phone number to the first account and then remove it and then use the same number for the next one and so on and so on. But yeah, it's not that complicated. You need different email addresses for each one, but it doesn't matter. All the details can be the same though. So if you're doing a personal account, so you can use the same card, same address, same name, all that kind of stuff. No problem there. Same IP address, that's all fine. So Brad saying you escape the rain. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to Dubai, definitely. So, but basically my plan is to go out there for a month in January. I want to test out, see what it's like. Obviously, it's a bit of a holiday, so I need to be aware of that when I'm evaluating it. But my plan pretty much is, depending on how the October budget goes, is to move out to Dubai. So join Spence and all the guys out there. So that's something I'm thinking of doing, but I want to just check and make sure I actually like it first. I'm sure I will. It looks like a really good country to move to. A lot of successful people out there. One thing I seem to, I've done a lot of research on it. Watched a lot of YouTube videos, things like that. It seems that a lot of people who move out there are successful people who want to maybe avoid the taxes, but they're doing well in life. They want to go out there and they want to save the taxes, but they're successful people. They're go-getters. It's good to hang out with those kind of like that crowd, basically. That was the saying, like you should always surround yourself with successful people. So if you want to be successful, anyway, gonna go out there in January and check it out, basically. So Sati, that's a bit naughty, mate. Leo, last year we had strikes at some key standard size shipments. Okay, fair enough. They don't prioritize size. Yeah, it makes sense, absolutely. So asking about business accounts. Yeah, business accounts definitely need to have a business, basically, or you can do as a sole trader. That's how I created mine. Again, I think things have changed slightly since I did it, but when I had my Airbnb, I created one for my Airbnb. It was just a sole trader. But yeah, things like that. So, it's not too complicated to make them. To be honest, for Prime Day, you're going to be fine with 3 personal accounts, I think. Obviously, if you've got the business ones, that's ideal, I suppose, but isn't necessary, I don't think. You'd be fine. I think there's going to be plenty of deals on the personal account, so not to worry too much. Are you looking forward to Prime Day? 40 hours awake. I won't be staying awake for all of it. You just have to accept you can't get everything. You're going to miss some deals. So I'll be awake at midnight. I'll be in the live chat. We'll hopefully be hanging out, buying some deals. But I'm going to have to accept there'll be some deals that I'll miss. As long as you are sleeping between sort of the 1 a.m. and, I don't know, 7, 8 a.m., you'll be fine, basically. As long as you're awake during the day and up to midnight, you'll be fine, I think, getting most of those deals. So, yeah, but you got to accept you can't get everything. And to be honest, it's going to be a lot of deals to buy. I think last time I spent 10, 15K. I was hoping to spend more, but I think maybe it was 10, actually. But, yeah, there's going to be plenty of deals, plenty of money to spend. So, yeah, get your credit cards ready. So, hey, Jacob. Thanks for joining us. How's it going? Yeah, exactly. Saturday's being a bit naughty. So I'm going to have to get some moderators maybe. No, it's all good. So do you utilize any debt to scale, Amex, etc.? If so, which are the best ones? So I guess technically it is temporary debt. I don't have a loan. I've never taken a loan out. I've actually never been offered I've been offered loans, but the one time I got offered a loan, I can't remember what company it was, but it was some insane. I can't remember what the percent. It was like 26% not ROI. APR is what they wanted. They also wanted me to sign a personal guarantee on it as well. I just told them literally. I was like, you can't have both. If you want to give me like a low rate, and I'll sign a personal guarantee, fine. Or you can give me a high rate and I won't sign it. You can't have both. So, I can't remember who that was with. I told them to sort off. But no, I use credit cards. The ones I like are Amex and Capital on Tap. There should be links to both of those in the description, hopefully. If not, I'll update them. But yeah, obviously be careful. You can use credit cards, can be a valuable tool to maybe stretch out your budget a little bit. I recommend basically not spending more than you've got in your Amazon balance. So at least you've got some money coming in from Amazon. Obviously, you need to be aware of when your payment date is and just be very cautious with credit cards. But it can be a good way to supplement your budget, your capital, and also get some rewards out of it as well. So, yeah, those ones I recommend basically. So, Lewis, do I expect Prime to be success? Hopefully, yeah. There's always going to be something, whether you're going to be spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, I don't know. The last, when I first started at Amazon, those Prime days were really good. Since then, they're not been quite as good, but they've still been good though. You can still spend 10, 15 grand. You're looking at 30% ROI sort of thing. So you're still looking to make maybe £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 profit. Depends what you buy and what I'm not saying they're going to be immediate profits, by the way. Sometimes you need to hold the items, 2 or 3 month holds. But yeah, there's money to be made, absolutely. So, Jacob's Mogul stay till February. I come back from Thailand like early Feb. So I'm leaving. I'm doing 6th of January to 6th of Feb, I think. But yeah, so that's I think the longest I'm going to be staying. But I had to basically get the dates right for the reward flights. But I've actually just moved some points over to to Qantas actually, so I could get Emirates flights as their partners. And I was thinking about going actually earlier than that as well. So, but maybe I don't know. We'll see anyway. But yeah, I might miss you by a few days. Sorry, Jacob. All right, Sati. So, King, how will saving tax work with Amazon UK business? That's actually a very good question. I've not actually done the. I guess the thing is your business would not make money, I suppose. It's about your personal income. So, again, I'm not like an expert on this. I actually sit down and like figure out exactly how you do save the tax. But if the company essentially makes no money in the UK and pays me out as a director, because I'll be a tax resident of Dubai, I won't pay any tax on that. But I need to actually think about exactly how that will work. But yeah, that's a good question, actually. I've not actually... Yeah, you've poked a hole in my plan. So I'm not sure the exact steps of how it works, basically. But maybe I'd have to run my company in Dubai, change my company over to be a Dubai company, and do it that way. So it won't be a UK company, it'll be a Dubai company, and I'll be a tax resident of Dubai. So that's the way I think it works, but actually it's a very good question. So let's see how the October budget fits. That all determines whether I'm going to go or not, basically. But yeah. So Sati, yeah, maybe you're right, yeah. So yeah, personal tax, yeah, I think that's probably about right, yeah. So I think it's what you pay yourself at the end of the day. So essentially your Amazon FBA business will make no money. At the end of the year, you'd make zero profit, so have zero capital gains, zero corporation tax, and then just pay it all to yourself and it'll be tax free. So yeah, that seems to make sense. Leo, government-backed new start loans. Yeah, people have mentioned before doing this. 6% APR. I could definitely look into that actually. To be honest, it's only very recently I've actually kind of run out of money. Like 2 months ago. Up to that point, I've had more money than deals, I suppose. But yeah, only very recently I've actually, when I've maybe put a bit more effort into sourcing, especially with Kugita, that I've actually, and obviously buying for Q4 as well. I was like short on my money basically, and had to actually take a drawdown on Capital on Tap to pay off my Amex of 5k. So for like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, and actually didn't get charged interest on that, which is quite nice. So it's free 5k for like 3 or 4 5 days. It was over a bank holiday weekend. So it took a little while, but yeah, it was pretty good. So while we're waiting for those Amazon payouts. But yeah, I'll look into that potentially if I decide to, just if I want to get some extra money, really. So I'll be honest, guys, my focus now, I'm happy kind of where my Amazon business is. My focus is more moving towards the social media, the Discord community, things like that. So you probably can't tell because it's streaming, but I've just bought myself a new camera, upgrading the sort of studio. So obviously done the studio out a bit nicer. Just bought a new camera, an A7S3 with a fancy lens. So upgraded that. I've just got a full-time video editor as well. He's working me full-time now, so he can help me edit videos, which means I can spend more time filming. So whole channel and social media side is going to be upgrading more. So I'll still be doing Amazon FBA to keep my, knowledge up and stuff, but I'm not necessarily looking to scale it anymore, really. Kind of happy where I am, and maybe I can just improve my ROIs, my margins. So, but yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, awesome, Jacob. Let me know when you're there. I'll tell you what, I'll send you the exact dates that I'm going to be leaving and leaving from Dubai, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up. So yeah, that'd be awesome. So yeah, Ryan said they're in Dubai for 2 weeks. It was unreal. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, obviously when you go out there as a holiday, obviously you enjoy it. You get the holiday, I guess, spirit and stuff. So evaluating it from like a living point of view, I know there's a lot of upsides and downsides to Dubai. Like apparently it's unbearable in summer when the heat is just crazy. Obviously it's a desert, so the heat can be a little bit overbearing in summer. But yeah, everything else looks amazing there. So it looks very exciting, to be honest. So yeah, my family aren't particularly happy about me moving out there, but you got to do what you got to do, basically. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what it's like, and then really considering doing it. So yeah, it'd be awesome, to be fair. Hey, enough was watching from Hungary. Awesome. How's it going? How's your girlfriend? She okay? Thanks for tuning in. We've got a global audience. I think we've got someone from Florida and someone from Hungary. Well, someone watching from Hungary rather than actually from Hungary. Yeah, Leo, you need to look into private label as well. Nico's smashing it. I just can't do it all. I'm not going to profess to be a private label expert. I can't do it all. It's like apart from doing Quigita, I don't do wholesale, so I don't profess to be a wholesale expert. OA is pretty much my specialty. That's kind of what I teach. And then if someone wants to do private label and they want to actually do that, I mean, I know the basics, the broad strokes, I suppose. But if you want to really learn how to do private label, go to an expert like Nikos, And if you want to do wholesale, I actually don't have a wholesale expert, but apart from maybe, oh god, I can't remember the name now. Oh, I can't remember his name. Callum. No. Anyway, I can't remember. But yeah, so I don't, you won't see me teaching private label or wholesale because I just don't know how to do it. So, everything I teach you is just from my experience. So hopefully I've been successful. So hopefully you guys can be successful learning from my experiences. And there's no bullshit here. It's just what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. So, and I say I did consider getting into private label, but it's a whole nother level of Amazon FBA. Like it is just a whole nother level. It looks more complicated. It's harder. You need more capital. Obviously lead times are longer. You need to learn about how to create listings, take photographs, make sure your listings sell, doing PPC as well. Obviously cash flow is even more important when you've got to wait 12 weeks for something to ship in from China. So it's definitely a tougher thing to do. But obviously on the flip side, you can build a brand, which maybe you can sell. And obviously you can make higher profits as well. So I know Nikos is absolutely smashing it. I'm really pleased for him. He's doing a fantastic job. If you want to learn private label, check out Nikos Marco on YouTube. He mentors people on private label. He's been super successful. He makes some really good money. And I'm sure he's going to make even more in the future. So, what's the next question? Yeah, Ryan, has OA been your main focus? Yeah, it has. Yeah. So I did obviously OA, RA when I first started. I pretty much ditched the RA. I probably will pick it up a little bit in Q4. We're in Q4 now, but yeah, my primary focus is OA. RA just takes too much time away from me being able to do like other things. So like run my community, answer questions, do my social media videos and stuff like that. So for me, OA works quite nicely. How long will it take to make 3K a month profit? My goal haven't started yet. Starting with 5K will compound profits. So I've just done a whole video on basically how I do 10,000 a month, and the steps that I take. And if you're in my, I don't know if I can actually put a link up, but I've got a fantastic chart. Maybe I can throw it on the screen quickly. Give me a second. Downloads, spending profit table. I don't know if I can just drag this in. Here we go. So, yeah, let me know if that's actually showing up or not. But I've created this nice table here. And if you want to just DM me, or it's in my Discord community anyway. Let's see if it's actually working or not. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. But yeah, this tells you how much you need to spend every month to make a certain profit based on the ROI that you're buying at. So you are saying, for example, you want to make 3K profit a month. Well, to make, we don't have it actually here, but let's just say it's 2,000. If you want to make 2,000 profit every single month and you're at 30% ROI, then you need to be spending 6,666 a month. Or if you're, let's say you're at 40% ROI and you spend 5,000 a month. So that just gives you an idea of what's realistic. So given that you've got £5,000, it probably is not going to be possible to make 3K a month unless you're getting some crazy ROI. So that gives you an idea anyway. It's a really useful chart. I spent some time making it look nice and stuff. So yeah, so hopefully that helps anyway. That is available in my Discord community, and I need to get a download link as well so you guys can download it. So there you go. That basically, hopefully you can see that okay. And I'm just going to move that now. Cool. So yeah, there we go. Pretty cool. Hopefully it's not screwed up my setup. So yes, straight into wholesale. I don't reckon like 5K is not enough. Well, maybe it's okay for wholesale. As I said, I'm not a wholesale expert. I can only go on what I've been told by other people. Ideally, you need to be VAT registered, although it's not essential. It's pretty. If to get the good wholesalers, you need to be VAT registered. Obviously, when you're first starting Amazon, you're going to make mistakes, and I always say this: first year's for learning, second year's for earning. So you're going to make mistakes when you do purchasing. So if you're buying from Boots and you're buying 10 units or whatever, and you've made a mistake, well, you can either return them or your loss isn't too great. If you're buying 200 units from wholesale or 300 units from wholesale, and it turns out you've bought the wrong brand or the item's not profitable, then your mistakes are much greater. So I personally don't recommend private label or wholesale for new sellers. I think do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage for the first year or so. And then once you've got some experience under your belt, you can then focus and maybe think, well, I'm either going to carry on doing OA and scale that, or RA if you want, or I'm going to move into doing wholesale or private label and doing sort of a mixture of OA and wholesale, OA and private label, then eventually move fully into, say, wholesale or private label. That's pretty much the route most people take. I don't recommend going straight into either wholesale or private label, in my opinion. Get some experience under your belt first before you do that. So I'm going early June, Mogul. I'm going to, yeah, that's, very hot there. So Immortal, do you teach or mentor people on how to source or you join groups and get most out of your leads from there? So, I mean, I don't mentor people right now. I don't do paid mentorship. My goal is, and I've been spragging on about this for ages and I've still not finished it yet. I want to get my free course out there. It's going to cover 90% of everything and 99% of everything. And then if people really want to do mentorship beyond that, sure, I'll take your money. But I won't be doing that till after Christmas. But you don't need it. You can just do it for free. Come join my Discord community. It's free. You can ask questions. I answer them. Help you out for free, basically. So yeah, you can join. Yeah, it's all free, basically. So my community is free. My YouTube's free. Everything's free. I like the free model, but I will do a paid mentorship in the future, potentially, if people really want to be handheld and really want like a tailored plan for success, basically. Then sure, I'll take your money, but you don't really need it. Let's be honest. So my goal is to try and make it as everything free, everything you need. So, but one thing, by the way, I won't provide is leads. Just to make that clear. So my community it's about education. It's about having a community of people to talk to. I'm not a leads provider. I never will be. It'll never be a paid group. That's not what I'm into. So if you want that, join something like Profit Sweep for your leads. They're a leads provider, basically. So cool. Enough Falls is enjoying his holiday in Hungary. That's cool. So King Katie, when you send an item to Amazon, assume it's not hold, how long do you wait until you start readjusting the repricer? So what I do basically is I use Profit Pro, sponsor of this video, of this live stream, is I set my min and max prices. So then let PPP do the rest. So normally I set my minimum prices like 30% ROI. But it all depends. Maybe it's like what I'm happy with, basically. What's the minimum I'd be happy with my min price? Maybe it's break even. If you're seeing something that's trending down, then sure, make it a break even price and then have your maximum at your ideal price. Don't just go crazy. Look at the history of the chart, see what you think like the max price it's sold for, and let PPP do the rest, basically, if you've got a sensible rule selected. And if it's a listing that's trending down, at least PPP will readjust the prices to sell into the trend. But I normally set my minimum price to maybe around, I guess it depends on the listing and stuff, but 20%, 25% ROI maybe, sometimes even 30%. Whatever I'm happy with, depends how much the stock I've got, what the sales velocity is, all this kind of stuff, where the source stock came from. Am I holding it for Q4? All these things come into factoring in. So there's no like one way to say this, but if you want to set your min prices to say 10% ROI, your max price to whatever the max it's sold for on PPP on Keeper, and then use PPP, let it do its thing, basically. So yeah. So cool. Yeah, and obviously if you want to sell it quickly, then you obviously need to take less money if it's an item that's trending down. But yeah, don't try not to buy items that are trending down, I guess, in price. Obviously can't always be helped, but good analysis, good research should help you with these tanking listings. So Leo says, with the profit chart, I'd actually chuck an extra variance percentage, as there's always Amazon fuck-ups that cost us extra money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's an ideal situation. Like, if you buy something at 30% ROI, sometimes it's going to tank. It just gives you an idea of what you need to spend, basically. But I think a general good rule that I've seen is basically, if you've got like $100,000 of capital in Amazon, you can expect to make 10% of that per month. So £10,000, basically. So if you've got £10,000 worth of stock in Amazon, then you can make about £1,000 per month. But yeah, it's a difficult one, really. Obviously it depends on what items you're buying, sales velocities, profits, all this kind of stuff, what sites you're sourcing from. But that chart just gives you a rough idea. It's definitely not a perfect plan, I suppose. But yeah, but that's what I use though to determine what I need to spend every month. So if I'm running at 40% ROI, which is I roughly am right now, this month I'm on 42%. I know I've got to spend £25,000 every single month on stock to maintain that 10,000 profit at 40% ROI. So it just gives you an idea of what you need to spend. So, and then obviously if you can spend more and buy more stock, ideal. So Leah says, I'm selling items 25 quid on Amazon to liquidate at a tiny profit. Those same items can sell for 23 quid on eBay with a lower shipping and no fees, 5 quid profit. Yeah, so I don't sell on eBay, by the way. I mean, apart from maybe doing some return items, I don't do eBay. Can't be bothered with eBay. For me, FBA is all about being able to scale through FBA. Let Amazon do all the work. You do pay more fees for it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a big eBay person myself, but you can definitely make money on eBay if you're willing to do the work on that. So if my entire full business was just doing Amazon FBA and trying to just resell everything as much as possible, then yeah, eBay, I mean, I've done eBay in the past. I'd be doing eBay as well, but for me, it's not, I'm happy with where I am with my business. It's not my only focus. So for me, I just can't be bothered with the eBay. And to be honest, I hate having stock. I hate seeing stock. I hate having stock in my apartment. I hate having stock in my storage unit. So for me, I'm trying to make this as remote as possible, so I never even see a single item of stock. Not solved that problem just yet, with returns especially, but yeah. So Leo's been rinsing the 80 fees off the past few years. Yeah, well, you don't have to do that. Don't need to do that anymore because it's all fee-free, isn't it? So they've just changed it for private sellers. So I'm not sure how many listings you can do per month and stuff, but yeah, they've just made it free for private sellers, so which is amazing, and it kind of hurts business sellers a little bit. hard to compete as a business seller on eBay when you've got to pay 10-15% fees and then also VAT as well. So versus someone who has to pay neither of those fees. But yeah, hey Adam, thanks for joining us. We're just coming to the end actually, Adam, but thank you for joining though. We've got 24 people watching. That's fantastic. What was our peak actually? Let's have a look. I can't see because I'm too zoomed in. But yeah, it's been good. Let's see what other questions we've got then. So Zara was asking. I was asking because you said OA is your expertise in the Discord. OA is my expertise. Yes. In the Discord is an open community, not OA mentoring, I guess, or is it? It's just an open community for all Amazon sellers. It is mostly, I'd say, OA people, but there's definitely wholesale people in there as well. Not too many private label, but a few in there, to be fair. There's a few successful private label sellers in there. It's just an open, free community. The link's in the description for that. You can come and join. And you can just ask me questions. And there's 700 members in there now. So when you ask a question, sometimes other people will answer as well. I'm obviously there to help out as well. I'm obviously not always awake, always available. But that's the nice thing about the community getting to that size, though. And it's a really helpful community as well. So everyone's very friendly, very helpful. Which is awesome. Everyone's very mature in there, and it's just a great community. So really pleased how it's turned out. Hopefully we'll be 1,000 people by the end of the year. That's my goal. Leo, used to be 100 listings reduced at discount periods, now 300 listings for no fees. That's insane, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely insane, Leo. So you can, it'd be interesting to see how prices have changed, I suppose. People are going to, I don't know, it's more money for us, basically. Not that I do eBay anymore, but I might have to start doing eBay again, though. I was trying to think how I could do my returns through my personal account, just like clearing out my returns. I guess I just have to sell them to myself and then make an invoice and then sell them on my personal account. I don't know. I have to think about how that would work. So Jacob says, I always find it hard, more money-wise, is always hit the monthly limit easily. Yeah. So it's a good thing, though, if you get to the point, because when people get into this business, they have this like scarcity mindset. And I talk about this all the time, scarcity versus abundance mindset. You come in and you think, there's no deals to be found. They're very hard to find. It's actually the opposite. There's too many deals. The amount of deals I pass up on and I miss out on is insane. And I'm still spending a decent amount of money every single month. So, if I really wanted to sit down and like grow my business to like that next level of 15, 20K profit, I could definitely do it, but that's not really my goal anymore. But there's so many deals out there. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. It is insane how many deals there are. So change that mindset from scarcity to abundance. Very important thing. I think it's released a short on that as well. So it's in the YouTube channel and the TikTok and Instagram as well. So, my video editor's been making all my shorts for me now, which is good as well. So, hopefully we're getting at least one of those out a day. So Leo says you can have same one listing for multiple quantity. Oh, that's good as well. Yeah, because there used to be a thing with the eBay fees where you couldn't do multiple quantities in a listing. So if you had 10 of the same item to sell, it wouldn't count for the fees, but now it does, which is insane as well. So that's crazy, isn't it? Really, actually insane. So FBA returns February 2020 inbound. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, Jacob. But yeah, going to be, I don't know. Return to the bane of my existence. Right, I've got so many returns. I've got boxes and boxes of them. No problems. All right. Are you going to Mental Picks podcast? I saw your comment, Simon. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I was meant to be the first guest on there. So when me and Thomas were friends, but then and he kicked me out and said he didn't want me to anything to do with these businesses ever again. I thought that was the end of it, but then I kind of like jokingly said, could I come on it? And he said, yeah, sure. So I don't know what's going on there, but we obviously had a big falling out because I was promoting another group and didn't like my business practices. But I don't know. Yeah, we never had an exclusivity agreement or anything, so I promote what I think's best. Simple as that. What is best for you guys. And right now the best group is, Profit Sweep. So at the time though, for retail arbitrage, and maybe to a certain extent a little bit as well, Mental Picks was the best group for retail arbitrage. So, but yeah, it was, I don't know, we fell out anyway. So couldn't be resolved. It was a shame. So I see he set up quite a nice little setup. I actually don't like it looks really good. I'm not a fan of the green background, but everything else looks nice though. So if I was going to do that, I'd do something very similar, nice chairs, all that kind of stuff. But the green grass background, a little bit not for me really, but it's all cool. We all have different tastes. Yeah, exactly. That was declare them as damaged, sell them a Percy. Exactly. Well, I don't see why you couldn't just sell them on your personal account. Then, if you do sell them, you essentially sell them to yourself from the business, create an invoice. There's no profit or gain being made for yourself. You are technically building up revenue, I suppose, under your own personal name. So I not doubt your return's going to come to 90,000. But I don't see why you couldn't do that though. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting. You're not avoiding tax or anything because the tax still paid. Any profits on your personal account, on your personal name, sole trader. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I don't know. Don't know how that would work anyway. So you're not tax avoiding, you're just fee avoiding basically. Cool. We've got a few more questions, and we'll keep going as long as the questions keep coming in. It's all good. So. Leo says operate two separate businesses, start with eBay sole trader and separate setup limited for Amazon. With my sole trader, I'm low volume, high profit, and I never want to be VAT reg. Limited, obviously, the opposite. Every couple of months, I have to go through eBay sales and invoice myself. Yeah, that seems like this does mean I can delay the VAT needed to be paid for those items. Makes sense to be fair. That's pretty much what I was saying. Yeah, so I think you can just kind of sell them to yourself, and that's a way to do it. So just avoid those eBay fees. Obviously, with returns, you pretty much lost money on those items, depending on what condition they've come back. So you're just trying to recoup as much money as possible. If we can save that 10-15% on eBay fees, trying to just liquidate those items, get some money back, it's all the better. So Lewis says he's got a lovely whiteboard. I did see that video. I didn't watch it all, but he's got a fantastic whiteboard. I agree. So Adam's going to be the first on the podcast. Nice. Well, I look forward to seeing that. So Adam, you should go on the podcast. You would be good to go on the podcast. So it'd be very interesting. So you're a nice guy. You've got a lot to talk about. You're obviously private label as well, doing very well in private label, and obviously a retail arbitrage expert. So Adam, you definitely should. So yeah, absolutely. And we'll see an increase in sales on Prime Day. I've set up coupons for private label. Oh, nice. Yeah. So Adam does private label, as I mentioned, doing very well. I think you've run into a few issues recently with Amazon being Amazon, basically. What's the biggest downside to Amazon? Amazon. Is my opinion. Amazon returns and admin. The three downsides. But yeah, let me just check if we've got any questions in the group. If you've got any final questions, feel free to throw them out. I'm happy to stay on and answer them. I see we've got a few new users into the group, which is fantastic. Just checking to see if we've got any questions. Oh yeah, people are saying about wholesale and creating a website for their business. They don't have any website I can look at. So yeah, one thing I do know actually about wholesale is that it is recommended that you set up a basic website. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but for some reason wholesalers want you to have like an online presence on a website where you just talk about, logistics and fun stuff like that really, and distribution, and just put a stock picture of a warehouse on there, and yeah, just basically, it doesn't even have to have much on it, really. I've seen a few of them, and it's just basically got your business name, it's got a stock picture of a warehouse, it's got your address on there, maybe a little bit about what you do, and that's pretty much it. Pretty basic. So, but yeah, that's one thing I do know about wholesale, is that you're meant to have a website set up. Ideally, obviously, under your own business name as a domain. But yeah, Zara says, I'm doing a lot of RA, ATM, I want to switch to OA if you're so good at it. Want help to learn to source. Yeah, check out my channel. I've got quite a few sourcing videos. I've done Quigita source. Check out the lives as well. So on my YouTube channel, you've got my videos and you also got the lives. I've done quite a few Quigita live sourcing recently. But there's also a few sourcing videos in my video section as well. So there's no need to. I think I've got one or two people that actually want to do like a sourcing session. So if you want to do a sourcing session, DM me. And rather than me doing it one-on-one with someone, we can get 3, 4, 5 people. We can just do a sort of private little call. I can do a bit of sourcing. But my favorite sourcing method, by the way, if I'm not using a group like Profit Sweep to get on my Amazon deals, things like that, and price drops, is to do newsletter sourcing. That is my favorite method. Essentially, you sign up to loads of newsletters. Every morning you check the sales and then you buy from there, basically. So go where the sales are. That's my favorite method. Cool, guys. So I think we'll probably wrap it up there unless there's any final questions. So Leo, Mortal, if you want to smash it away, the US market is by far the best. US does look like easy mode, I'm not going to lie. Obviously wouldn't recommend starting off in the US. Running an Amazon FBA business is tough enough without doing it fully remote. But yeah, US is insane. There's a few downsides that I'm aware. Again, I'm not done at USA myself. I just know from what people have told me. But in general, it does look like easy mode. But there are a few small downsides. Nothing too crazy, though. But yeah, so a lot of the OG sellers jump ship and sell there instead. Yeah, makes sense, to be fair. But it's still plenty of money to be made in the UK. I think you need a decent amount of capital to do USA. And I definitely wouldn't recommend starting out. But again, do your first year in the UK doing OA and RA. Once you've got some experience under your belt and you realise the opportunity and you've got good at sourcing and you understand the process of how Amazon works and returns and all that stuff, sure, then look, wholesale, private label, USA, absolutely, jump ship, absolutely. But I don't recommend starting off with any of those though. Personally, it'd be very difficult to do Amazon remotely and learn it at the same time. I think it's just too much, in my opinion, anyway. So other people might disagree. So I don't, as Chris is saying, I don't find OA that easy. It's definitely not as easy as checking newsletters. It pretty much is, and just the proof in the pudding is that I do it, and even Tom G, Flipping at 30, who does way bigger numbers than me, is all about newsletters as well. So it really is. It is that simple. It really is. It's not that complicated. So Flippy says still hitting guitar for section 3s. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So the advice, again, I mentioned it before, but just quickly before we sign off, is to place your order on Qgita, but don't pay. Contact your account manager. Ask if the seller will provide an invoice. If they will, you can pay. And if they won't, just let it lapse. You've got 48 hours, I believe, from placing the order to paying. So that's the advice we give you. So Jacob says, live streaming for Prime Drop tonight. Probably not, no, but I'll be in the live chat, the lounge in my Discord community from around 11:30 onwards. I just need to go and do a bit of shopping after this. But yeah, I'll be there 11:30 onwards. We'll be chatting, hanging out. I love doing this, by the way, but it's more interactive to be able to talk with you guys. Obviously, I couldn't talk to you guys properly here. Obviously, the chat and stuff is fine. But yeah, I want to, nice to actually interact with you guys a bit more on the lounge. So join the Discord community. Come and join the lounge. We'll be just chatting and hanging out and watching the deals come in. So, yeah. So Leah says OA is just as easy as RA. There's more accessibility for OA. So deals can tank faster. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's correct. RA definitely does tank less, unless it's like a big national sale. Like the last one I can think of that was like quite tanky was the Lego sale in January at Tesco's. But it was Lego though. We all knew it was going to come back. But yeah. So Leo is saying my standard that Mogul is spending tens of thousands in A2A. I found stuff tank last year. Haha. Yeah, no, I made some good money, really good money on A2A stuff. So I was definitely a bit more selective, but yeah, made a lot of money on A2A. It's probably my second most successful sourcing method. So Simon, have you worked with Amazon Sourcer? I see him everywhere. Warren seems like a good guy. Says his newsletter's old way of sourcing. I guess everybody's different. I mean, is he selling some software? Like, there's definitely, you can use, there's so many ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way. Like, I like newsletter sourcing. Some people swear by reverse sourcing or storefront stalking. Some people prefer just to do just like brand deals or I don't know, whatever you want to do, like sourcing. You can do Keep Product Find. There's another way as well. I'm trying to think what other ways. You can use something like Arbisource or I guess Amazon Source, and maybe that's some software I don't know. I've not heard of it myself. There's loads of ways. That's a great thing about this business. It's not one way to do it. My way works for me and may work for you, but it may not work for you. There's other ways to do things. There's a load of different ways to do this business. You can do high volume, low profit, high profit, low volume, mixture of everything, RAOA. There's no right or wrong way. So, in fact, if you can find your own path, that's probably best actually. But you can't find your own path until you know what you're doing though. So, which again, first year's for learning, second year's for earning. Cool. We'll wrap it up there anyway. Hopefully that answered all your questions anyway. I really do appreciate you all hanging out as well. We can see the viewers dropping off there a little bit. So, but yeah, we'll be in the Discord community later on around 11:30 p.m. watching those deals come in. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you coming on and hanging out and asking all those questions. It kept me very busy. We actually overran